Two Serbian nationals have been killed in a U.S. airstrike targeting Islamic State fighters in Libya. The Serbian government says the two embassy employees were killed on Friday near the town of Sabratha. Kofa Mrenje tells us more.
The two Serbians, a communications chief at the Serbian embassy in Libya and her driver, are said to have been kidnapped on November 8th last year near the coastal city of Sabratha as they were traveling in a convoy to the Tunisian border. They are among dozens of people believed to have been killed in Friday's attack.
As you heard it yesterday, the Pentagon has declared that the Air Force carried out an attack in Libya on targets that represent a threat to the USA and their interests in the region. Unfortunately, as early as yesterday afternoon, we received information from higher levels and our partner agencies that during that attack, several foreigners were also killed, among which there are two of our citizens working at our embassy, Slađana Stankovic and Jovica Stepic, who were abducted on November 28th last year.
About 40 people are believed to have been killed in that attack. Serbia now says it will demand an official explanation from the US and Libya about their knowledge and choice of the targets.
It was an air attacks by American aircrafts, in which 40 people were killed. Probably most of those killed, as you heard from the Pentagon statement, were Tunisians in Libya, and that the target was actually a camp suspected to belong to the Islamic State. Unfortunately, it was the place where kidnapped foreign citizens were held, and not only the ones from our country.
Belgrade maintains an embassy in Tripoli, and Serbian citizens, mostly doctors, other medical staff and construction workers, have been working in Libya for decades. Kofa Mrenje, CCTV.
Well, the Serbian government is seeking explanation on this. Let's get some regional and international perspectives on this story. CCTV's Adel Mahroui is keeping tabs. He now joins me live from Cairo. Adel, the Serbians are seeking a strong explanation from the U.S. over the killing of their nationals in that airstrike. Do we know if there were other nationals from other countries also killed or injured in that strike?
It doesn't seem from the statements released from the Pentagon that there has been any information indicating there were hostages or abducted nationals taken in the custody of militants in that targeted camp. Some even are trying to counter what has been announced by Serbia, that they were abducted, and saying they might be passing there by chance. But at the same time, officially, of course, that is the position, but there hasn't been any other nationality announced to be involved in this so far, particularly, I mean, as innocent casualties or innocent civilians. But we know that there is about a dozen of Tunisians who are radicals that were trained in the camp, along with the casualties that has been reported, and then most of the rest are Libyan nationals that have been recruited by the Islamic State and have been training there in that camp for quite some time. The camp, as you know, it's not far away from the Tunisian border, about 100 kilometers, which would make it an easy access for militants to pass by from Tunisia, go to get their training, and then come back to Tunisia, or maybe from Tunisia travel to other destinations.
Well, Adel, is this the kind of intervention, though, that Cairo has been calling for? How exactly are these airstrikes being viewed in Egypt and the wider region?
Well, officially there hasn't been any statement released from the foreign ministry in Egypt. Yes, Egypt has been calling many times for the international community to start targeting the Islamic States and what it describes as terrorist organizations inside Libya. But generally what Egypt has been always also saying is that the international community should enable the internationally recognized Libyan government to perform that task, and that any operation inside the Libyan territories should be coordinated with the Libyan internationally recognized government, which might not be the case in that particular incident. So nothing official from Egypt yet, but in general many see it as a surprising step for the United States to take such an action individually, and because in previous statement the United States said that it could take any part in an internationally coalition to fight the Islamic State inside Libya. So it's still not clear about whether this is a one-time thing from the United States or there will be future attacks happening. And if that's the case, what is the position for the Libyan government, and are there going to be other partners joining such strikes?
Well, it does seem unclear whether this is a one-off, but Libya's internationally recognized government is also not pleased with the airstrikes. Do we expect, though, this particular strike to play a role in influencing future discussions over the possible international intervention in Libya?
That's what the Tobruk-based government in the east believe could lead to. They are offended that such attack would take place without coordination with them, without even prior notice to the internationally recognized government. Yes, the area is far away from their jurisdiction. It's even closer to the Tripoli government rather than the eastern internationally recognized government. So there are many conditions about why and whether there should have been an approval or a coordination with the Tobruk-based government. But they believe that such attacks, if not coordinated with them, they might give leverage for other groups to have an upper hand on the ground, which in turn could affect the talks between Libyan factions. This is what the Tobruk-based government has always been worried about and keen to highlight in almost every international meeting that they attend. So again, whether the Libyan government can do anything about it, there isn't actually much going on. Libya, as you know, has been divided critically with two governments having limited authority over their areas in the east and west. And in between them, the Islamic State have been gaining quite a tremendous geographic control with training camps and weapon smuggling, and even sometimes oil products that can get financial resources to it.
Right, Adel Mahroui for us in Cairo.